back from the dead.
What up, party people? Welcome to that party. Your friendly neighborhood master Chaos here, and I'm joined by the rest of the Chaos crew for a VSA double feature. First to my, oh good, I pointed the right direction. Over here to my left is BC. BC, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
I'm honored to have you here because you are the VSA. You are the VSA master. So I'm really curious to hear what you think about today's movies. TC down below. It's easy to find you. There you go. There you are. Hey TC,
Hey.
how you doing?
Good, man. Yourself?
I'm doing great. Now I know you and I are sort of, I think, of like minds when it comes to the VSA movies. We're not necessarily giant fans. We don't really understand it.
Right.
Where do you land on the whole VSA situation?
Where am I supposed to land? I mean, there's no pattern to these things, so I mean, I don't even know. It's not. I don't have no idea. I mean, it's always the mystery of what's the next one gonna be, and that's cool. It's like, oh, the suspense, but then you remember what the other ones were, and then the suspense kind of starts to die away slowly. But you hope there's something good, you know.
Yeah, it's funny when they were announcing their halfway to Black Friday the subscription for the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They said this is our last Jaleel Merhi movie. It's like they knew.
Man.
People were complaining about, God damn, this is the Merhi line. So luckily, I think we've seen the last of him. With the first movie up tonight, which I think that's where we should start, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's talk about Expect No Mercy with Jalal Merhi, however he pronounces it, and the incomparable Billy Blanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are gonna be shocked when I think about this, but before we talk about that, let's try and break down the plot. Who wants to give the plot a try? I think Tracker, you saw it more recently than us.
Yeah. Basically, Billy Blanks is some kind of agent, I guess FBI, I forget, and they have him infiltrate this virtual arts academy, I believe is what it's called, where this Shadow Stevens, this poor man Shadow Stevens, runs this kind of like Nintendo trading ninjas kind of deal for assassinations. And they're trying to find out, what's going on, whatever. And I think Merhi's like an inside man. He gets caught up in all this, and Laurie Holden is the actress who's also like another big name, I guess, in the movie. And it's a martial arts extravaganza. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's another undercover movie. It's like Jalal Merhi loves his undercover movies, or he has to team up with Billy Blanks to go under. Like, I think Towns of the Eagle had the same goddamn plot.
Yeah.
Where he was going undercover just to take out some bad guy who was doing some bad shit.
Like, I haven't seen. I think this is the only Merhi movie I think I've seen, because I saw TC 2000, but it seems as if Billy Blanks, you think he's the main character, and I guess he is. But it seems like Merhi's kind of like wedging his way, like they're kind of forcing him, but yet he doesn't really do anything. But he's still kind of pushed on you, He's pushed on you. But
Merhi's actually the producer of the movie. And I know he directed a couple things, but he produced it. And it was I watched the special features, which is something I rarely do. But I'm like, why is this made? And in the special features, they originally wanted Billy Blanks, but then he was unavailable, so they went with some other guy, but the other guy sucked. Then they went back to Billy Blanks because I think this is right after Towns of the Eagle or something. Anyway, they had worked together before, and he really wanted to work with Billy again. So Billy was actually a late addition to the whole project.
Billy Blanks was busy doing what?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he worked in the 90s. He was in almost everything that came out.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And at the time, he mentions that Taibo was a thing at the time. That that didn't happen after the movies. It was concurrent with the movies.
Yeah. And I think he did like national stuff with Taibo, going around towns, and stuff like that too. So yeah.
And he said that he made enough money on this movie to buy a house. So shocker.
Wow. All right.
A crack house?
Okay. BC, what do you think? Did you say a crack house?
Yeah. How much could he have made from this movie?
Well, I guess that's true.
I mean, really.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Please don't cancel us. Cancel TC. No. BC. What did you think of Expect No Mercy's undercover um, um, virtual reality karate combat movie?
I thought it was pretty generic martial arts film. Except the virtual reality thing was supposed to be, I guess, like the highlight of it, but it seemed just a blur of martial arts fighting, good choreographed, by the way,
Yeah.
and the fighting was good.
Yeah.
But in the end, we've seen this before so many times, and it's the same rehashed story of, Billy Blanks going undercover, Jalar Murray also a good guy,
Hmm.
and the bad guy, the blonde European looking bad guy, is in this movie. He's also in another one of the movies. I don't remember which one.
They're all the same.
Yeah. Do
Doesn't
you
matter.
do you what's his name? TC. You know his name.
Who? Who's
My,
name? Matthias
the
Hughes?
yes, that's it.
No, but that
That's
wasn't
it.
him though. That's not Matthias Hughes though.
That was him.
In this movie?
Yeah.
No, no, no. You're thinking Matthias Hughes in that new one that's coming out, that the Cyber Vengeance or whatever that's called.
Wait, no, wasn't Matthias Hughes in this one?
No, this
I
guy
think
looks
he
like
was.
like I had mentioned. He looks like a poor man's Shadow Stevens kind of guy. That's not Matthias
Oh
Hughes.
my
It's
God,
not.
they're like
Oh,
they're literally running together. Are you
Why he was
sure?
the
Hold
bad
on,
guy? I'm
I'm
positive it's
gonna.
not Matthias Hughes. In this
Well, no,
in
he wasn't the bad guy, but
no, no.
like,
Expect
oh
No
man,
Mercy. He's not. No, unless he had a small scene and I didn't see him, but I don't. But he's not the main guy. The main blonde guy is not Matthias Hughes in this movie.
oh,
no, no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no,
That's what
not the
you're referring
main,
to.
not the main guy. I
No,
could
none of
swear he
them.
was in it. Man, all these things are goddamn like running
They're the
together.
same. They're the same.
Yeah,
It's because Matthias Hughes, all these guys, it's like I think they shot these movies on the same set at different times, and that's why they're all in the same movies in the '90s. Just they're always in the same thing. So
You know what the you're not gonna believe this, but do you
uh,
know what the name of the guy who plays whatever the main bad guy? You know what his name is? Like his character name?
what?
in the movie, I think it was something like Warden or I was thinking Warden. I forgot something like that.
It was Warbeck,
Warbeck. There we
Warbeck.
go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
played by a guy named Wolf Larson,
of course.
Mm.
who I'm not familiar with him. Have you guys seen him before? I don't know him.
I mean, no,
No.
he looks like a generic blonde buff guy that's in most of these movies. So that's probably why you thought he was Matthias Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, possibly,
Yeah.
possibly, but regardless, BC does bring up a good. It was very generic. It's a very generic film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially a rinse and repeat Billy Blank's action movie.
Yeah.
You know, where he's like he's a tough karate muscle guy, and he's brought in to take out some other tough karate muscle guys for some random reason.
Yeah.
Hey,
But I'll
is it
be.
just I'm sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
finish.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest. I've seen every Jalal Merhi movie put out by the VSAs,
Sorry.
and I gotta say, this is my favorite one. And she's a big part of it, actually. She's beautiful. She
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, this stupid shit is garbage. The stupid virtual reality stuff is just
My God.
ridiculous. But this is my favorite one of their pairings. I think it's honestly because it feels like it has a plot. It feels like it
Right.
has motion to the story. Things happen. Things feel bigger, like like cars crashing through the gate. I mean, that takes a
Yeah.
lot of prep. It just felt like a more worthy movie. Still a stupid shit, but a more worthy stupid shit than Tiger Claws or Talons of the Eagle or whatever the shit the other one is, TC 2000. This felt like a
Yeah.
more worthy movie, and I'm kind of shocked that I say that because it feels
Yeah.
so goofy to say it, but that's just my
Well,
reaction to it. I don't
I
know.
mean, with all the movies that they did, there's bound to be one that's better than another one. So I guess, I guess it,
I would disagree with you. I
we'll
like
see
I
them all.
liked I liked the Tiger Claws 2 quite a bit, and part 3 a little bit.
Wow, you
This
like
one
three,
was
but you like Tiger Claws 3 better than part 1.
no around the same.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, does Billy Blank's hair get shorter with each movie? Because it looked like it was really short.
There's one where I guess TC 2000 he had like a super flat top. I don't know. I don't know. But what I liked about it is that there was kind of an element of espionage to this. It was kind of like, I'm not going to call it James Bondian, but I did like the undercover stuff here. I think it worked better. I like the secret base of assassins thing. I think the virtual reality thing is bullshit. It looks so dumb. But overall, I had more fun with this movie because it felt more competently made. You know, TC 2000 felt like people fighting in a warehouse for like 90 minutes. Well, I mean,
it was like
that. I don't know. This one, I mean, I wouldn't buy it. I'm not gonna go out and buy it at all. I've never watched it again.
Yeah,
but I didn't hate it. BC, would you think this? You think this is the worst of the bunch?
I think it is. Yeah. I think it's the worst of the bunch. I like TC 2000 quite a bit. Wow. I will actually rewatch TC 2000, and this one just it's just martial arts fighting, and I don't recall anything unique about it.
Well, come on, this one you have B-boy Billy Blanks, like backwards cap or sideways cap.
Yeah, that's right.
Open. It's like, well, what is the deal? I don't know if you remember, but like there was a scene when he was getting into the virtual thing, I think for the first time, and then he's like got the virtual suit, whatever, and he seems to be uncomfortable, but then he lowers his zipper like halfway down, and he's like, oh, that's better. I'm like, okay.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you like this one, Master Chaos.
So. Yeah, I am too, but I didn't like it enough to buy it. But TC, I know you and I are big video game fans. Did you know that there was a video game based on this?
There's no video game based on this.
Oh, there is. You have to watch the special features. There was a video game based on the movie, and here you get actually 30 minutes of the game itself as one of the special features, and it looks terrible. I mean, it looks terrible, but it was like kind of like a CD-ROM fighting game. But yeah, it was called Expect No Mercy, and it was a virtual reality Mortal Kombat kind of ripoff.
There was a game I do remember, but it had nothing to do with this movie. That was real life people fighting different characters, cowboys, tribal warriors, what have you. But it was real people, and it was in the arcade, and it was a unique machine. It was kind of like a bubble top, and it was like a hologram looking thing. I remember that. For a second there, I thought you were referring to that, but I highly doubt that because...
No, it was I think it was like a CD-ROM game or something like that. It was definitely a computer game. But it's on the one of the special features is 30 minutes of the game itself.
Oh, I have to check that out. Now I have to check that out.
Yes, and Jalal Merhi like hosts it. So he was like one of the producers of the game too. He's like, we got to go on a mission to like, it was like one of those like, the Riot intro videos like, hey, I need your help to solve this case. My sweaty friend is busy kicking people in the corner. You gotta go battle a ninja in the subway or something.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was thinking about that. I haven't seen many of other Billy Blanks movies, only a few of them. But I was gonna ask if you guys noticed how sweaty Billy Blanks gets. At least in this movie, he looks like he gets more sweaty than Kevin Spacey in a choir boy convention.
Oh man,
I mean, I don't know if you remember, but he gets really sweaty. I mean, that guy's like. He becomes super slick in this movie or something.
He does. I think I'm glad that you're here, TC, to notice sweaty people in movies.
Of course.
Because we need that. We need to keep track of these things.
No, because how there's some action movies that they're doing all these action stuff and there's like no perspiration. It's like, okay, that's not normal. Right. But then this guy is like the complete opposite. It's like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh man. So what you're saying is that Billy Blanks is basically SpongeBob SquarePants? Is that what you're telling me?
Indubitably.
Oh, okay, good to know. But yeah, based on a video game, or I guess concurrently made with the video game, which is very strange. But overall, stupid effects. I think the beginning reminded me of Mystery Science Theater. Like they had really bad looking computer graphics. What the shit was that?
The thing is, you have to think back then that was like the technology, but even then it's still like, oh man, that was bad, man. You should have just taken the virtual reality out of it, and I think it would have been a little bit better. Like, more easier to watch. Just taking. Look at that. It looks like it's broken.
You can't even see their faces, dude. It's so dumb. Definitely the worst element, but I honestly appreciate the movie had a real plot and it wasn't just training sequences, which I feel like all of his movies are training sequences. which I don't think there were
Right.
any in this one that I can remember. Were there any training sequences?
Well,
No.
they have the scene where like they show all they show the whole school or whatever it is of assassins training outside in the yard. But it's funny because they have all this virtual hype about this virtual stuff, but when they go do their missions, it has nothing to do virtually with anything. They're like in person or any. I mean, there's nothing virtual about it. So it's like, and they're
Right.
training outside. So I don't know what the virtual part where it actually comes in. I guess part two is gonna explain everything.
Part two, and then part three is really when it all comes together.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hopefully we can make that happen. But no, overall it was, in my opinion, the least bad of the Merhi movies. So I say let's move into our star rating. I'll go first because I think I liked it the best. So I think we'll start at the top. I'm gonna go 3 stars. I thought it was okay. I mean, I think if you buy it, you're not gonna hate yourself. Like if you bought, Tiger Claws or something, and you get to part 3, you're like want to eat your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 3 stars for Expect No Mercy. BC.
I'm gonna go with 2 stars because
Okay.
the fighting was relentless. I remember it's very generic, but the fighting just kept going and going and going and going. Like there was never a dull moment. That I never like paused the movie to see how much was left because there was always something dynamic going on screen. Some kind of fighting. So that's
Right.
why I gave it two stars.
Okay, dokie. TC.
I'm gonna just follow the countdown. I'm just gonna give it 1, just because.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Because the thing is, I haven't seen many Billy Blanks movies. Only a few, so I can't compare that much with like you guys could. But the only things I really liked in the movie, if anything, the fighting and Laurie Holden, pretty much, and that's it. Because the movie, I mean,
Wow.
the really poor virtual graphics, which I expected, but it kind of took me out of it. It was just such crap. It was a piece of Mary. How about that?
Right.
That's what it was. but I'll give it credit. I'll give it some credit. So.
All right. Well, 1 star is like the least amount of credit anyone can give anything, so that's good.
Well, no, I could say no stars. I could say -5, but no.
You could say say that. Let's talk about another movie that I think maybe we're not all on the same page here, but maybe one that we may disagree on. But another kind of reversal of fortune for me, because I thought it would be the other way when these movies were announced. Let's talk Red Surf. Staying alive is only half the battle. That sounds like something the G.I. Joes would say.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not as good as a G.I. Joe movie, which is kind of weird to say because the G.I. Joe movies weren't great. But Red Surf, I'm going to defer to TC because he saw them more recently. TC, what the hell is this movie about?
Essentially, George Clooney and Doug Savant, the 2 main guys in the movie, they're drug dealers. And it's the typical thing they're going to get out of it. And then when they're going to get out of it, something bad happens kind of deal. That's just the general thing. But George Clooney is kind of like has a difficult, his struggle in getting in and out of it. And I mean, I liked it.
Okay.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was very regular for me, but I liked it.
That should go on the poster.
It was regular. It was like, it wasn't great. It didn't have a lot of action, but I didn't get bored, and I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the other ones.
Okay, so. BC, what do you think about Red Surf?
I didn't like it. George Clooney. I think he smokes crack in one.
Yeah, he does crack rock. Yeah.
One scene, crack rock, and it's him being the drug dealer.
Yeah.
And his friend is trying to help him out during the last score. He says, "No, you don't need to go because we'll give you the money. We'll do the run." He goes, "No, man, I gotta go. I set this up," and he gets like really pissed off at his friend and starts fighting. And I thought it was just so stupid. And it was more of like a drama. One thing that I found out through IMDb is that Quentin Tarantino saw this movie and liked it and wanted to get George Clooney in Reservoir Dogs. But I guess that didn't happen, obviously, because he's not in Reservoir Dogs. So that's something interesting that I noticed. Yeah.
Okay.
That is a cool little fact. I agree with you, BC. I think this movie, the trailer, which we'll watch in a second, really sold this as a hardcore drug dealer action, a
Yeah.
spectacular with like crazy
Yeah.
effects and like pretty intense kind of sequences. And I
Right.
think a lot of us were really kind of won over by that trailer, thinking, "Oh shit, this is gonna be badass." And then what you
Yeah.
end up getting is a family drama about a pregnant girlfriend and George Clooney, who would rather take drugs than take responsibilities.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I don't know. That's not necessarily. It's not necessarily a super fun movie. I mean, I think for me, it's right on the
Right.
level with uh, uh, Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of
Oh.
Depression in terms of like
Oh.
Oh,
like
really?
how much
Wow,
of a
that bad?
bummer. I mean, that's not
Wow.
as bad as that movie, but I'm saying in the level of how much of a bummer the movie
Hmm.
is, because you're
Yeah.
expecting a fun, oh, this is gonna be great, kind of Point Break, kind of actiony kind of thing, and then it's like, oh man, stop taking drugs. Your girlfriend's pregnant. Oh,
Yeah.
screw you, bro. I'm gonna take drugs. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
know.
every scene is like, I'm gonna take drugs. Screw you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
By the way, that's Dee Dee Pfeiffer. That's Michelle's sister. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, cool.
And I think she's a very attractive lady. So she's definitely my favorite part of the movie. And not just because she's pretty, but she's actually a solid actress, and she brings a lot to the movie. But I just felt that I think we were sold the wrong movie. At least trailer wise, I think we were sold the wrong movie, and that's a big problem for me.
I think that's probably one of the few patterns with Vinegar Syndrome stuff, VSAs or not. That very same thing that you're sold the wrong movie, whether it's via the slip cover or the trailer. I mean, I agree. Like the movie could have been a lot better without question, but I guess I don't know. Like I liked one twist that for some reason I thought the. Are we gonna do spoilers at all or no?
Yeah, yeah, we'll do. Maybe we'll save those for like a little bit later in the review, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
tiptoe around whatever you're gonna say right now.
Well, no, I was just gonna say someone who I thought was gonna be the bad guy in the movie because he's usually a bad guy was not,
Hmm.
and I mean, what little action there was, it was all right, but like I enjoyed. I mean, it's not like you mentioned Point Break. I was actually thinking about that because another surfer type criminal type movie. Like Point
Sorry.
Break has no, it's all right. Point Break has, in my opinion, is more rewatchable without question.
Hmm.
Of course.
If this movie would have had some kind of substance like that, it would have given it more, something more to stand on. But yeah, I mean, but interestingly enough, and I mentioned to you yesterday, I don't know if you caught this, but uh, that guy, the villain from Cyborg, Vincent Klein, he's
Hmm.
in this movie. He's also in Point Break. So I don't know if he's got some kind of weird typecasting of some surfer bad guy or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah,
That's funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
when
there's Dee Dee. Go ahead.
George Clooney's girlfriend, she's pregnant, she has a doctor's appointment,
hmm,
and George Clooney goes surfing and
yeah,
forgets he has a doctor's appointment, and she has to go with one of his druggy friends
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take
yeah.
her. That's like he's so responsible, and George Clooney, there you go.
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny because I don't buy George Clooney in this kind of character though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
I don't
No.
buy him with this kind of character. Something about the way that he carries himself. I just don't buy it as much. You know, he's a good actor and everything, but somebody else should have done that.
I agree.
yeah,
And maybe it's because we know him. We've seen him in so much like stuff
Maybe,
as like the suave
maybe,
guy kind of person. So
yeah,
you're not gonna believe by Danny Ocean as a crack taking surfer.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
um,
yeah. So
but at the same time, the movie is really more Doug Savant's movie, and that's
it is, yeah,
because I think he's almost more of the lead than Clooney is.
Yeah,
definitely, yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
For better or worse. I mean, I think he's fine. He's the guy holding the body right now. I think he does a good job, but I think you watch this trailer like, holy shit, this looks insane. But like
Yeah,
almost everything you're seeing in the movie here takes place in the last
it's like
what, 10
towards the
minutes,
end.
15 minutes.
Yeah, that's why you gotta
yeah,
take these with a grain of salt. You gotta be very careful with these things.
Yeah, and I think most people coming in expecting like oh shit, look at this. What's his face
Hmm.
from Kiss? What's his name? I'm blanking on the name now.
Gene Simmons.
Gene
Gene
Simmons, like
Simmons.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gene Simmons is in this. Holy shit, he's gonna be like fucking humping in the woods. That's gonna be great, bro. Like a drug dealing battle. Yeah, like oh, he's got a machine gun. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, none of that really happens in the last 10 minutes of the movie, and then
Yeah.
like that's there's Doug Savant. Like that literally is like the last 10 minutes, 5
Yeah.
minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
But most of it is almost, I'm not gonna say Lifetime Channel crack house movie,
almost
but
like a
it's
TV movie-ish kind of thing.
yeah.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think to me that was the biggest disappointment, that we weren't getting the kind of like action-packed fun movie that this was sold as. I mean, and all this shit is
Exactly.
in the movie. It's not
Yeah.
lying to you, but
It's
it also
just
is
a small
not
percentage
as
of it.
good.
Yeah, and I was actually when it first was announced and I saw the trailer, even though again I question it, but I was very close to wanting to get it. I was thinking like in that other halfway, having seen it, even though I did like it for what it's worth, I'm not gonna buy it because it doesn't have the rewatchability that I was hoping it would have. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm glad I watched it though. I'm
Absolutely.
glad I watched it.
BC, would you say this is the slowest or the most drama like of the VSAs?
No, there's some that like the House of Usher that's painfully slow,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
but this one, I guess the biggest disappointment was the trailer to the reality.
Yeah.
The the trailer lets you think there's gonna be action packed all the time and
more gang
tense.
warfare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's not. It's not.
yeah.
Like that scene with the boat and the machine gun on it and the nighttime action, that is only at the end of the movie.
The last
Yeah,
20 minutes, probably 15 minutes, something like that.
yeah. And then so
I'll
no,
go ahead. Keep going.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was disappointed. I think I liked Expect No Mercy more than this one.
Yeah, I mean, at least that movie delivered what it promised.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It has that going for it.
Let me read you my Letterbox review, because this is how I take notes now. Luckily, Letterbox helps me out. Here's what I wrote. Too many filler scenes knock the energy out of this movie. Character scenes are important. They are crucial because they allow you to understand the characters. But here, I really didn't like anybody, and I didn't really care either way what happened to them. So I didn't want to spend any more time with them that wasn't plot related. Scenes where the characters play, Would You Rather, or visit an art gallery, but get drunk in a Mexican restaurant, don't further the plot and just feel like the movie is spinning its wheels. And that was a big problem for me. There was a lot of scenes where like, what are we doing right now? Why are we here? What is the story going on? Why are we hanging out at a Mexican restaurant? Why is he at an art gallery? What is happening right now?
Right.
It never really coalesced into a plot, that at least a plot that felt rewarding until really the end, when the characters finally decide to fucking do something. And that's it was too much for me. The movie is really more about a low life drug dealer that discovers his girlfriend is pregnant, and he tries to come to grips with adulthood and responsibility, which is, I think, something that nobody wanted. An after school special with drug dealers in their VSA.
Yeah.
It's not a good one. It's a pretty lame movie, unfortunately. TC, what was the spoilers you wanted to talk about?
Well, I don't know if it's too much of a spoiler, but like for instance, Gene Simmons, right? Not a
Mhm.
big role, but I thought he was gonna be the bad guy. That they wanted to kind of get out of the drug business, and he wasn't gonna let him, or he's gonna turn on him. But he ends up being a good guy, and he had some little bit of action, which was pretty cool. And there's another thing. How spoilery can I get?
Yeah, you can get spoilery.
All right.
Well, and by the way, guys, if you haven't seen the movie, don't worry. There's not much in here. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe he was a robot the whole time, or some shit like that. Don't worry. There's no big spoilery elements, really.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I mean, what I'm gonna say next, if I can, has to do with the what happens to one of the characters.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? If you guys want to stay, virgin to the movie and discover your leave now, but do leave a thumbs up before you head out. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. Okay, spoilers. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know if you guys remember George Clooney's character, how that he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember how he died?
I don't.
Okay. It's when the Mexican cartel guys trick him when they go to the buoy and they find the guy's head in the bag, and they pretty much jump them and start trying to take him out in the ocean, and then in the ocean, and then they're chasing George Clooney, and he goes through this narrow between like I think like a shipwreck kind of thing, and I forgot what else. And he fits right through, but he falls off of his jet ski to the right,
Mm.
and then the bad guys are coming right behind him, and I guess they're going too fast, and they can't turn, and they crash into the wreckage, and they blow up. Now, I would have thought that Clooney would have either gone underwater or he could have swam away, but because it looked like there was enough time, but apparently he got caught in the explosion, and I was a little bit surprised that he died because I thought he could have survived that. But I guess I'm kind of glad he did because he didn't seem like a very redeemable character, anyways. Like it's not one of
Yeah.
those things like you would have thought that with the thing with the girlfriend that would have kind of started to somewhat change him, but clearly they
Right.
were going the other way with Doug Savant's character, which I was wondering if it was going to happen sooner than later. About clearly they're going to end up together, but they left that open. But
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. I mean, there were definitely some interesting elements to it, but I
Mhm.
feel like it needed another pass, script wise.
Yeah.
Really beefing up the crime element a little bit. I think
Yeah.
the character stuff, okay, fine. You need it. It's there, but
Right.
don't give us so goddamn much that we're basically just watching a mumblecore relationship movie. When you're
Right.
trying to sell us, for lack of a better
Drug action.
representative, like yeah, like Point Break or some kind of like surf
Yeah, yeah,
action movie when you're
exactly.
when you're basically giving us an after school special about, hey kids, don't do drugs, and
Yeah.
if you knock up your girlfriend, you should probably marry her or something.
Yeah.
uh I don't know, it certainly wasn't what I was expecting. So I think it's time to give it a rating. I went first last time, I'll go last. TC, what do you give it out
Mhm.
of 5 stars?
Well, for the very reasons that you said, that it wasn't exactly what the didn't deliver what the trailer made it seem like it was going to deliver, and it doesn't have that much of a rewatchable quality for me.
Hmm.
I'm probably going to give it. I'm a little torn because I want to say 2 because I did kind of like it. It was watchable for me, from beginning to end. But can you do halves or no? It has to be one, two, three,
No,
four.
no,
Okay.
I kind of don't like doing halves. I feel
Okay.
like.
Oh
So
man.
again, it's 1 is bad, 2 is poor, 3 is okay, 4 is good, 5 is great.
Okay, I'll give it 2 then. I'll give it 2 because I was
Okay.
able to watch it and I was fine with it. So all things considered. So I'll give it 2.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like you liked it a lot more than us. So I'm surprised you didn't go with a 3.
Uh,
But
no, because I mean, like with the reasons you guys gave, I agree with them. But there were things that I
Mm.
still kind of liked, and like I said, when I watched it, I wasn't like, oh, but I was like, okay, I was kind of pulled in a way, so I enjoyed it.
all
And then
right,
when it got to the action, I liked the action, so I'll give it
great.
some credit.
All right, BC, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking one star because I was like constantly checking to see how many minutes were left in the movie, and I just didn't like it at all. I was
Yeah,
dragging my feet. I was like, oh man, there's more of this. Like when you think like an hour has passed and you check the display and it's only been like 25 minutes, you're like,
it's
oh
bad.
man.
Yeah.
So that was my situation with this movie, you know. And
Gotcha.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, hey, you're the one who paid for it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to give back to you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with 2 stars. Actually, I think the movie had merit. I
Mhm,
really liked that. It really tried to work on the characters. I did like the action in it, but
mhm,
I think overall it was a poor experience because it didn't deliver exactly what I wanted. And I
Mm.
know we have to take a movie at face value, but that's hard sometimes. That's why you can't just go into a movie and say, "Oh, open mind, I'm gonna whatever it is, I'm gonna like it," because we
mhm.
have taste and we have things that we like and things that we expect. So a movie is gonna reflect that, whether we come, rose-colored glasses or not. So I'm gonna give it 2 stars because I think the movie it does a poor job of setting itself up, but at least it tries to be something above just utter bullshit. Like Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon, and I keep going back to that one. That to me is my lowest VSA of all time. That's a
That's
no.
hard
That's
you
like a
giving it.
negative 1,000 on that one.
Yeah.
Stars for that one. Um, but it's more of a drama than I wanted. But I think if it had really beefed up the crime element, it could have gotten 3 stars, but it just didn't deliver exactly what I wanted. But I think 2 is a fair number for this movie. And that's it. That is the most recent VSAs to come out of Vinegar Cinema, I guess. Well, at least as of the recording of this video. I know we've got how's it called? Cyber crimes?
Cyber Vengeance, I think, yeah.
Cyber Vengeance.
And that has Matthias in it, so you can bring him up next time if you want.
There you go.
Put a pin on that guy.
Yes. I'll try and make sure I mention that in my notes. He's in every movie in my head for some reason.
Yeah. He could be the next Murray guy because he's in like every '90s movie, so they could definitely put a bunch of Matthias Hughes movies if they want to.
Oh, right. One thing they did say that it wasn't the last Billy Blanks movie, so I don't know.
Okay.
What else is left? How many has he done?
Billy Blanks, he's probably got quite a few no one's ever heard of, except a few people who have it on VHS, for some reason. But who knows? Who knows what we're gonna get down the line? I think the VSAs are such a it's just become the Wild West. There's no way to really designate what makes this different from the rest of the Vinegar Syndrome line. There's nothing except the box.
Yeah, and the
extra letter. The extra letter. Yeah. BC, I know you've been wanting some more horror in the VSAs.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Every time I'm holding out, crossing my fingers, hoping there's like a horror movie, even if it's a bad horror movie, like the Usher one, which for me was worse than I like Jekyll, but the House of Usher one was so bad. But at least they tried putting horror elements into it. Now it's just action, and I'm like, I like action, but come on, variety. It's a spice of life.
In the hints that they had though for the upcoming, none of them were mentioned to be horror movies at all.
No. They never hinted the VSAs anymore because those are like surprises. So
you never know. You never know.
I mean, they say like, yeah, exactly. They'll say no, VSA coming next month or something, but they won't say like, it's a action or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because they don't know either. That's the problem. They don't know. They're shot in the dark. It's like they go like this and they throw a dart, and then whatever it lands on, that's what they put.
Mm-hmm. And like they have a witch board because it keeps landing on Mary movies. Oh. This is gonna be BC when they announce some horror for the VSAs.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my
god! That's the rest of that clip, by the way. Apparently, I found out that they tell that guy that his girlfriend or something is pregnant, and that's his reaction to that.
Oh, cool!
Wow. He's related to that guy from Miami Connection. He looks like.
Yeah, probably. That's his dad.
That's a prequel. That's his dad.
Oh man, exactly. Yeah, that's him being born. Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's call it a day. Thank you guys for joining me for this VSA review. No we'll do one of these again after Cyber Vengeance is out. We'll wait. Obviously I'll review it and then send it your way, BC. But I would say you don't have to watch it immediately because I think we'll forget about it. Let's wait until we have a second VSA.
And I probably want to take some notes. Yeah.
Yes. Notes are helpful. I mean, only if you're gonna have such a big gulf of time. For me, because I saw it like almost a month ago. Yeah. So we'll wait on the next VSAs, but more reviews coming soon. TC, I know you've seen other VSAs, right? Or are these your first?
I forget what's a VSA now because I know I think I own one, but I'd have to double check. Was New York Ninja? No, that was a VSU.
No,
right?
No, yeah.
VSU. I might not own any.
LA Wars. LA Wars. Did you see LA Wars?
I did see that one actually. I don't know.
That's a VSA.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's another one. Then.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good example of a good one.
Yeah. Well.
of a good discovery. I'll say that. It was a good movie.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's call it a day. These guys will be back on the channel eventually for some other things. TC, we'll try and have you on when we do a Voyage to the Bottom of the Barrel. Whenever it's either my turn or BC's turn, you'll be our guest.
Awesome.
All right.
And hopefully the movies aren't too painful. But for now, we're going to bid you adieu. Those watching at home, thank you so much for your time. We hope you enjoyed this look at the VSAs. We'll talk soon. Sending you lots of love your way. Until we meet again, we're bidding you adieu.